celebration. At this time, we would ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and be mindful that we are always and everywhere in the holy presence of God.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Salle.
O God, in your goodness, you gave the Church John Baptist de La Salle as founder of a religious family devoted to teaching and the patron saint of education. Grant that all of our athletes and fans may be able this day to follow his example of unflagging energy in pursuit of a goal, absolute loyalty to his brothers, and generosity to his opponents. As he found the Christian schools to keep young people safe from harm and to develop the talents you gave them, grant that these young men who play today may do so free from injury and with an ever-growing respect for the gifts and strengths you have so richly blessed them with. St. John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. We have Jesus in our hearts. Pray. Please remain standing as we honor America, our men and women in law enforcement and the armed forces, and veterans of military service, with the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the La Salle Pep Band under the direction of Senior Phil Baldessari.
It's go time, boys!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into LaSalle College High School football live on Bob Long Sports with Bob Long, Rob Stott, and Tyler Kern. Laura Jones on camera. It is the Explorers of LaSalle against the Vikings of Archbishop Wood. The Explorers 3-4 on the year, on a bit of a resurgence, guys. After a tough 3-0 start, have reeled off 3 wins with a tough loss to St. Joe's Prep along the way. Archbishop Wood, on the other side, started out with a couple of losses themselves, went out and played a national caliber schedule, lost the first 2, have started to rebound, had won 4 games in a row before getting, very much like LaSalle, crushed by St. Joe's Prep. So, there are very interesting storylines to these games, and both teams starting to round into form coming into tonight's matchup.
Should be a good one, Bob. We saw LaSalle last week take down Ryan in a shutout to the net, an annual streak of live. Like you said, both teams coming into this hot, if you will. And Jones going to make this one a very fun matchup to watch.
Archbishop Wood, number 22, Ryan DeVirgilis.
Ryan DeVirgilis back deep to receive for Archbishop Wood. And Jake Andolfo kicking it deep for LaSalle. Wood in the whites. We're underway here from Upper Dublin High School as Archbishop Wood starting to take it back out past the 30-yard line. And the Vikings will start there, led by Jake Ross, number 14, listed on the roster as a wide receiver. And Rob, that's how he started this season. But it was an injury to Jack Collier, their superstar quarterback on the LaSalle transfer, that brought Jake Ross into the game and into the fold as their starting quarterback. He's been brilliant so far this year, and he looks to bring them another victory here tonight.
So just another example of how the similarities between these two sides really go beyond just the record and kind of how they're coming into this one. First bit of color, though, I want to offer here is the color of the uniforms. I love the color actually on tonight. All blue, all whites.
Archbishop Wood, here's the give. And LaSalle's going to get a stop, but not after a 6-yard gain right up the middle.
Santiago on the carry, brought down by Christian Zuma.
Tom Santiago, the starting running back for Archbishop Wood. He's taken a vast majority of the carries. That was his 129th carry on the year, racked up over 830 yards thus far from the backfield. Chris Blackstone had produced a lot of carries in the first 3 games of the season, but was sidelined by injury. So Santiago, a much larger role, more of a one-back system. He gets the give on this one. Pitching to the outside, and he's got room. A first down and a lot more. Down inside the 40-yard line, and ripped down there. A big-time game as they cross midfield into a score territory.
First down, Archbishop Wood, tackle on the play by Chris.
Real nice game there. So setting up for that first drive here, 2 plays in for the Explorers on this first defensive snap.
Yeah, like you said, Rob, that was real quick. Explorers defense really needs to step up in the run game. That's going to be big for them.
It was Griffin Zobel. He's lined up number 16 on the bottom of your screen. He had to come all the way to the other side of the field to keep that from being 6. I formation for the Vikings. They give it up the middle to the fullback, and he's got a full head of steam. That's a gain of 13 yards and a first down. And Wood is moving.
Looking for
Santiago to get the ball there. Salle just letting the
first down,
fullback go basically untouched up the middle for another first down.
You can tell that man carries a lot of momentum behind him. He was bullies for the South defense. That's good.
Let's go, Dean!
Very much Wood's MO. Jake Ross, the quarterback, only averaging about 8 to 10 passes per game. So you're going to see a heavy dose of Archbishop Wood running the football. And here's the give to Tom Santiago, eludes the first one in the backfield and gets a gain of about 5.
A little bit better.
Tom Santiago on the carry, brought down by Ryan Salle.
Not passing as much, probably definitely a result of Santiago starting this season as a, or I'm sorry, not Santiago, Ross starting this receiver as this year as a receiver, not as a traditional quarterback. So he's him into the game, and you really got to tighten up against the run if you don't want this to be a long night of this defense.
Second down to 5. 7 on the play clock. Ross is under center in the I formation to give. Instead, it's kept by Ross, and Ross is going to get close to that first down marker. A little fake give and then spin off tackle from Ross, and we know, guys, that he's very athletic. Tyler, a guy that started the season at wide receiver, so we'll see this from him from time to time.
Yeah, like that was very athletic play. Wasn't able to get first down there, but Sal's defense really has to play physical game here in order to be able to stop this run, because all their running backs are point to bruisers, along with Ross as an athlete himself.
And the other thing, Tyler, is that it's 3rd down and 1. Wood could be fine with that, could be 4 down territory here, as they have a lot of downhill momentum on the first drive of the game. I formation again. They'll give it to Santiago. LaSalle gets the tackle, but it is going to be a first down. Gain of 3, that time from Tom Santiago, the deep back.
Have done, it's first down there, have done a nice job the last couple of plays, kind of containing that run, this defense. So after the quick start for Wood, as this defense kind of backs up against the wall, nice to see it for the whole tight here and prevent this.
First and goal, Archbishop Wood.
At this point,
Wood is yet to go to the air. They sit at the LaSalle 6-yard line. Ross in the shotgun, fakes the give and takes it right up the middle. Met at the 6, nudges forward for 1, but a great job by LaSalle linebacking core to stay home.
Yeah, I think we're going to see LaSalle start to settle in. It's really physical, and sometimes as a lineman, you're not just ready, you're not ready for those kind of hits. It seems like they're settling in. We'll see what they can do for this weekend.
10 seconds on the play clock. Here's the give to Santiago. Slips through 1 tackle, but LaSalle was in the backfield there. He scooted up the middle for about 3. It'll be 3rd down and goal in between the 2 and the 3-yard line.
Might be a little tough to see on the picture, but that was great vision. Tyler just scoot up there, a couple yards, 2nd down.
Yeah, we've seen some good vision from Santiago. He's probably a bruiser, but has some vision on the field and kind of shows that patience that's one of the quarterbacks.
9 seconds on the play clock, perhaps a little bit of confusion here from Wood. Now Santiago is the single back. LaSalle loads the box. Here's the push up the middle, diving for the end zone. They're going to mark him just short. Fourth down and goal upcoming inside the 1 yard line, and it's decision time, Rob.
Big stop there.
This is a game. This is such a good game here.
Look at those splits with the out linemen. They are tight, and it's a sweep. LaSalle thinks they held him short. Ross thinks he's in the end zone. Still yet to get a call. Waiting for the signal from the field. Wood has their legs in the air. There's no call yet. And now there is. Touchdown, Archbishop Wood.
Come on!
They take 6 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock in the game's first drive and finish it off with a 1 yard quarterback sneak into the end zone.
Ross on the 2 yard quarterback keeper.
A lot of unhappy parents to say the least. I took a long time to make that call. I don't know if they played the good guys put their arms
Bob Hennessy to attempt the extra point.
And Bob Hennessy up and good. The only thing I'll say there is it's a little difficult to take somebody seriously from the other side of the 50 on something that came down to 2 or 3 inches.
maybe a little bit.
No score.
We don't have the benefit of replay in high school, so it'd be interesting to see, go back and have a look at that to see whether he got in. But yeah, it's tough to make that call when you're 75 yards away as opposed to 2 inches standing above.
Don't worry, we're working on pylon cam here on BLS. We'll be introducing that next week as they take on Roman Catholic on Friday night. Little extra room in the budget, so we're going to throw that one in.
If I come down with the Mega Millions tonight, I guarantee we'll have some pylon by next week.
So they take 6 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock. A very impressive job by Jake Ross and the offense. And truly, it was Jake Ross with the key run there. He had a couple runs where he just kind of kept the Sal's defense off guard in order to try to get off tackle there on a couple runs. And I think that's important because as good as this offensive line for what it is, they can't just give it to Santiago, hand it to the fullback. They need a couple different looks, and I think Ross and co did a nice job to mix it up on that drive.
It's interesting to see how Salle adjusts throughout the night. What does not, like you said, like we've covered and we've talked about clearly on that drive, they did not throw the ball off. So we'll see how defense can adjust.
Matty Keelis catches it at the 10 and comes up, it's hit at the 26-yard line and drops right there.
Keelis just had a wall of light there. Came out swinging that running back. I think we did start to see Sal's defense kind of get a feel for it. And I think maybe
Sean Daly, the starting quarterback for the LaSalle Explorers, will come out in an empty set. 5 receivers here to start things off. They fake the give now, flipping it to the outside, in and out of the hands of Khalil Diarra, number 83.
Definitely, yeah. Diarra, we saw last week, had a little bit of a different kind of involvement in the game. They allowed him to throw the ball a few times. It was a bigger part of his offense in a few different ways rather than the traditional wide receiver. So I'm sure we'll see some more wrinkles work into this offensive game plan tonight. But he's got to come down with that.
for your sake, you let it out.
Daly again in the shotgun. Keelis to his right. Drops straight back and fires to the outside. How about that confidence in the quarterback? Go right back to the receiver.
That is much more great play by John. Great ground.
Gain of 12 for the Explorers on the 12-yard out, that time from DR.
And as much as Wood came out running the ball, Salle very different here, which is, to come out and small throws, 2 throws, but to see, I'm sure we'll mix some other stuff in, but unique to see the differences between these offenses play out on this first 2 drives.
Give is the keyless and chased down from behind. What a play there by the D-line of Archbishop Wood. Absolutely. Yeah, look, lined up on the outside there with number 24, Peyton Wall. Tell ya, light yellow on white, a broadcaster's dream here for the Archbishop Wood uniforms. Another empty set. Sam Brown comes in motion. Sam Brown comes up and then has some room up the sidelines. And he's past the line to gain for a first down. Many keyless guys. A nice block behind the play in order to string Sam Brown.
Yeah, that's something we saw was a real comfort zone. Those speed plays to Brown and the running backs and get the ball in their hands, let them use their speed to turn that ball upfield. It's working again today.
Boy, the way that play developed, that almost looked like Brown was going to catch that ball behind the line and think about throwing it, but that ball, I think, came forward just a little bit. Now they fake the give, and Daly has lots of room up the middle. He takes off to the 25, and it's a foot race. Daly's going to win it. Touchdown, LaSalle.
And again, to call back to last week that we saw this offense do is Daly, for really the first time I think all season, showed more of a concerted effort. Being that wide out to start the year, and plus it's a big one there for the Explorers on this first game.
The point after is up and no good. It was pulled left by Jake Gandolfo, so it remains 7-6 Archbishop Wood. But a huge play by LaSalle. Rob, you made a good point about keeping that football. I think that's one of the first times all year that I have seen a pure, clear-cut run pass option. I mean, they run wrinkles of it for sure, but almost always when someone comes in motion like that, or when a running back comes across the front of the quarterback, that ball's in their hands, and it's not a true option play. And that was a pure zone read, and it was a great read by Sean Daly, and as a result, he opened up the defense and took it to the house.
Yeah, just the growth of this offense, it's what it kind of comes down to, and Daly getting another week of practice under his belt, getting another week to come out and experience live game action as quarterback, and it's truly paying off, and at the right time too here as the regular season winds down and these Explorers prep for the playoffs.
Just one next week against Roman Catholic. Now back deep to receive Cardell Pickford, number 25, and number 22, Ryan Deaver-Jones.
Let's get it, boys. Let's go.
Gandolfo will send it away. Swings the right leg through, and it's headed towards Pickford, who takes it at the 5. He turns right and heads up the field. Should be a block in the back. No call there. Now an opportunity for Pickford as he's taken down at the 40. Boy, guys, I saw a very clear block in the back, and as I say that, I hear one of the coaches for LaSalle from the booth saying the same thing at the 20. I mean, clear, distinct. I was very surprised to see no call there.
I completely agree. But that was great pursuit by the LaSalle special teams there, coming back and making the tackle there.
I tell you, the folks are fired up here tonight. This is some energy. This is a game where it's a big rivalry, and a LaSalle fan base that I think thinks that this team is ready, as Ross has the ball and a bad snap there and a botched handoff from Santiago. I don't think Ross ever got a handle.
No, I mean, I don't know if you saw the other side of the ball. You might have seen the pressure coming.
Yes.
That was like a zero blitz there. Everyone was coming for him. So I'm sure he wanted to catch that ball and get rid of it as quick as possible, and just mishandled it and lucky to fall on top of it.
That's a big loss. The loss of
Fumble on the play
6.
recovered by Archbishop Wood.
And this game is flying here, guys. It is under 4 minutes left here already in this first quarter. 7-6 Archbishop Wood, but touchdown as how the first 2 offensive drives have gone. Single coverage on the near side. Ross in the shotgun. Will they take a shot? Yes, they will. Fling it to the outside, but will beyond the outstretched arms of number 21, Brad Otto, the running back coming out of the backfield.
Big rush pass incomplete.
Number 22, Bill Carter. I think he made a great play there. And like you said last time, on the last play, Bill Carter was right in the backfield again there. Almost came up with the ball there, so you can tell these are the players.
3rd down and 16. 3:31 to play here first quarter. They need to get to the 50-yard line for a first down. South defense trying to get off the field for the first time here tonight. They fake the give. Ross avoids one, heads to the sideline, and throws it away. That could be intentional grounding and will be. That ball was nowhere close to the line of scrimmage. That'll be a spot foul and a loss of down.
Big rush pass
Game
incomplete.
plan clearly for the Salle tonight, with Archbishop Wood, ought to be to get them to run the sticks. Force Ross to put the ball in the air.
Flag on the play. Intentional grounding by Archbishop Wood.
Some way to get yourself out. It sounds pretty obvious, maybe a little oversimplified for a football game plan, but keep them behind the sticks. Don't let them get first down, but put them in uncomfortable situations, and that's the result you see right there.
Yeah,
So, go ahead.
No, I just thought that was interesting. We're all running on one, and obviously that loss on the first down really set them back.
Luke Hardy back deep for LaSalle to receive the punt. This is a really good punt. It'll force Hardy back. Makes the play and comes up the field for about a gain of 2. He's hit well on a nice cleanup by number 55, Dylan Urbanowski. But LaSalle starts their drive at their own 49-yard line, good field position, and tailing the offense back out on the field.
Nice to see Hardy come down with the team. I gotta say, after last week, the field was a little interesting last week, so nice to be on turf for him. But way to secure it, come down and not make that foolish catch immediately.
I'd really like to see South
Turn to the 48-yard line by Luke Hardy.
they did last time. I really like that. They call pass through Diarra and that screen, and that run together. I'd love to see more of that.
In motion comes Diarra. How about this? They fake the give, and it's Hardy coming on the reverse. Hardy's hit, it'll be a gain of 3. Little razzle-dazzle, but Wood stayed with it pretty well.
Felt like one of those plays you see in the NFL all the time, the speedy receiver that just put the ball in his hands, a lot of misdirection, and ends up, 16 seconds later you get a gain of 2. Like the design of it, just, Wood did a nice job of sticking with it and bringing down Hardy.
Probably pathetic.
My bad.
2:25 to play. First quarter. It's been an entertaining first quarter thus far. 2 good football teams going at it here tonight. Daly in the shotgun. He'll roll to his right. South tries to pick up the blocking. Daly gets through and puts the ball forward. He fumbled the football. And Wood thinks they're on it. There was a flag on the field. Still no call from the referees. Did we get a signal? No signal from what I can tell here, guys. Ball is being spotted at the Archbishop Wood 39-yard line, but they haven't given a signal. Well, they're declining a penalty, and now the official signals first down Archbishop Wood. On the fumble from Sean Daly, Joe Wade thought that the knee was down. It almost looked like he was pushing that ball.
Archbishop Wood recovers the fumble and takes over on the 13-yard line.
That's now 2 calls too. They've gone against feels like they've gone against the Explorers. Very long discussions by these officials. So things just not going their way so far in terms of being in favor of the Zebras here.
After the fumble by Daly, they give the ball to Pigford on a jet sweep. Pigford to the outside, now cuts inside and gets a gain of about 3 yards.
Pickford almost carried.
They did a great job setting the edge there. They saved probably saved a 15-yard gain and made it a 4-yard gain. I mean, a 4-yard gain on first down is still big, but he saved a lot of yardage there.
Injured player on the field. This is one of the LaSalle Explorers. We'll get a look at who that is when we get the opportunity. Take this opportunity to tell you that today's game is brought to you by Dunphy Ford in the Northeast, a wonderful dealership headed up by Kevin Dunphy, a good LaSalle man who sent his son Tyler to school at LaSalle and has been a big supporter of Explorer Athletics and of Bob Long Sports for quite some time. So please pay it forward. They've really been a big part of what has allowed us to go on the air here. And I can speak to the character of Kevin. So we'll go over and visit them on 7700 Frankfurt Avenue or at dunphyford.com. Tell them that Bob Long Sports sent you. So unfortunately for LaSalle, number 9 Tyson Goldstein coming off the field, able to put a little bit of weight on what looks like the left leg, and you hope that he'll be okay. A big hand from fans here.
I'm always positive Goldstein was the one that set that edge there. He made a great play, and I think safety explores company off it.
So now 2nd and 6, clock runs under 1:45. Ross drops straight back, and he's getting hit, and he's taken back. Sacked by the Explorers, pushing him way back. Brendan Fresco on the sack. Third down and 15. 1:07 to play in the first quarter. Timeout called by the Explorers with 58 seconds left, and visibly upset head coach John Steinmetz did not get the look that his team wanted defensively. But that's one where, I mean, the first quarter is fine. You got 3 timeouts. You want to get this call right. And so they will take a look.
Yeah, big opportunity here to get off the field after the turnover. So we'll make sure, 3rd and long, you need it to come out. You need this to be a punt. Well, you want to force that punt. So make sure you're lined up correctly and force a timeout in that kind of a situation.
So we got 2 entrance exams coming up from LaSalle High School curriculum, and want to give them a shout there. It's October 27th, Saturday, and I believe November 12th is when those 2 entrance exams are. You can go to lschs.org for more details and information. And to see if being an Explorer would be right for you. It's a wonderful high school. 3 alums standing right here as evidence that you can come out as a halfway functional human being.
Also as evidence that entrance
at least in Rob's
may
case.
not be tough.
Although Tyler's an esteemed individual, I can't speak for me and Rob. They give it up the middle of the delay, and there's nothing doing there.
There it is. There's
Good to come out,
to come out, there ought to have been a passing down, but not having a traditional starting quarterback under center there. Supposed to make do with what your strengths are, and strength is to run, and did not come up with it there.
It was Isaiah Turner who just ran off the field at the bottom of your screen, who made a tremendous play on that one. They will kick it deep. Another high kick. Hardy will come up and get it and make the play at the 38-yard line. That's where the LaSalle offense will start.
Chance for Paul Daly to come out after turnover. Defense doing a nice job picking up their offense.
have, I mean, this night could have been worse. It's hanging in the high 50s. It's pretty good football weather here. Might get a little colder as the night goes on, but this is a pretty nice night for Pigskin. Samuel Brown in motion. They fake the give and give it right up the middle to Matty Keyless, who made one miss but scooted up the middle for a gain of 5. And turned what could have been 1 or not into 5 yards.
Running back
and that's the end of the first quarter. Time runs out. It ends with a 5-yard run by Matty Keyless. A little shift and some lateral movement from the running back. Really a good effort from the Explorers and the Vikings in this first quarter. We'll take a break and come back for the beginning of the second quarter here on BLS. Your score: LaSalle 6, trailing by 1 to the Vikings with 7 points. We'll be right back. Yeah, I messed that up.
His mind was elsewhere. Good first quarter.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy
The logo. So when the guy's punching,
America's #1 brand.
anything in the top right is kind of
online at
going to be an issue there. So just kind of raise it up or move it a little bit to the right. No, I'm not actually.
Thank God, I really
That doesn't pay enough. Welcome back, everybody. Beginning of the second quarter here from Upper Dublin High School. Second out and 5 for the Explorers. Daly will just take this right up the middle. He's got a lot of room, and again it's a foot race to the 20, to the 10. Pulled down at the 5-yard line. Huge game. Daly, the quarterback for the Explorers. Just a simple quarterback draw. Nothing there. Oh, but there's a flag way back at the 50-yard line. It was downfield, too.
come back, my friends. Coming back. That was another example. This offensive line maybe do the whole, but Daly's putting the Jets on that clearly designed run right out of the gate, and no intention of looking anywhere else up the middle. And unfortunate to get the call back, but it's nice to see that this offensive line is having its way.
It was 6 yards down the field, though. It was only 2nd and 11, or 2nd and 9, and it was 2nd and 5 before that play, so it really wasn't right at the line. It must have been perhaps the fullback getting into the second.
Slow trap back to the line.
Yeah. So now 2nd and 9. It'll end up being a loss of 4 as that hold was 6 yards down the field. Once again, empty set. This is a new look Explorers offense. We knew there could be some wrinkles here tonight. Sam Brown in motion. They fire it to him. He's behind the line of scrimmage. And he gets a gain of about 1. I'm thinking every time I see them split out that way that they might think about throwing it. That would have been tough going against his body, coming to the near side of the field. Have to throw against his body as a righty, but nonetheless.
Brown in motion, gets that ball in the backfield, launching one up to the big wide receiver. See if they can. I wouldn't put anything past this offense. We've seen the last couple of weeks. They're really drawing up some interesting plays. We've heard from coaches that they want to try things, so I wouldn't write anything off of it.
Timeout with Salle. They burned their second with 10:57 to play in the first quarter. Now, what Rob's talking about is last week, Salle ran a play where they threw the ball to Khalil DR, but it was behind the line of scrimmage. He ended up firing it down the field, and connecting with Manny Keelis in what ended up being a huge play in what ended up being a 35-0 rout.
You can do those kinds of things in that kind of a game, but it has to work. For you to do it, it's got to work, and they did it. It paid off to them in that situation. So it gives you the confidence to go out there and do it again in bigger situations, bigger games, and a little bit more might be on the line. That's what we might see tonight.
3rd down and 8. They need the 49-yard line for a first down. They sit at the 41. Tyler, what do you think? If you're an offensive coordinator now, what are you calling here? One-on-one coverage to the right side, and that's just a blown-up play. Big-time loss as 3 Wood Vikings were there, led by number 55, Dylan Urbanowski.
This isn't the NFL, so they're not protecting the quarterback as much, but a late fall on the other side there.
That's not how they want to play.
Probably not. Probably not.
Taking the safe bet there. It's unfortunate.
Jake Gandolfo with the punt for the Explorers.
Somebody missed an assignment, and they were in the backfield before Daly could do anything. Now a line drive punt, and that's going to take a hop directly to the right, and LaSalle will touch it up at about the 33-yard line, and that's where Archbishop Wood will start their next drive. Jake Gandolfo fired that one low, didn't allow Wood to make the catch in the air, and I think that's a pretty good idea, whether intended or not, because of some of these talented and tremendous returners that Archbishop Wood has.
Yeah, and you never want to give an opportunity for an explosive player to make a big play on special teams, but another point here is that, after those first 2 drives, we've really seen these defenses, I guess, settle in and make this, make life a little more difficult on these offenses. So both teams really, on the defensive side of the ball, settling into this game nicely.
Wood with the give to Santiago, taken down right at the line. Great play off the edge by Jalen DeVoe. He's taken on a bit of a different role from starting running back earlier in the year to now a key member on defense.
It's kind of the team of the year. They have athletes. They're young, as we've said, but they can kind of play any position. That was a great play by the guys. They really sniffed out that mid tackle for their game.
I mean, Joe Wade has talked to us about that very thing, Tyler. This LaSalle team, while inexperienced, might be the best collection of young, speed, and talent that he's seen. I'm talking freshman and sophomore type guys. The give is to the fullback, and he skitters through what was seemingly no hole and gets 4. And I think at this point, they are embracing the war in the trenches, which is what this is becoming. Archbishop Wood is saying, at least as of right now, we're not throwing anything tricky at you. Stop our run and take a look at these splits on the offensive line. This is unbelievable. This is really, really tight. And now they throw the little bubble to the outside and taken out of bounds by Dylan Trainer. That will be a first down after a gain of 8. But again, it's little plays like that. Sure, that's a little bit of misdirection with the play action, but nothing down the field. More than comfortable methodically move this ball, trust the offensive line, and see if it's out of sight. Jake Ross in the shotgun to receivers to the far side. No safety help over the top. It's one-on-one. The give is to Santiago off tackle, and he gets about 3. Just past the 50-yard line into LaSalle territory.
First time since that first time, his defense has really been tested, it looks like, by Woods, and we'll see how they can respond. Nearly had Wood off the field in that 3rd down a couple plays ago, and now Wood gets that first down. Start putting plays together to see what you can't do on offense, but time for these teams to step up and make a stop here.
Heavy workload for Tom Santiago early. 2nd and 7, he is the deep back. Just one receiver. And they give it to Santiago again. Makes one miss and keeps going. He's inside the 40. A gain of 10, maybe 11, and a first down for the Vikings.
Santiago,
That's person back there. He just runs the middle. I mean, like
First
I
down.
said, he should definitely show some patience.
Credit obviously has to go to this new front as well. They know coming into games that it's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of weight on their shoulders as a unit. Run heavy team to be good, solid blockers throughout the night. They've done so on the first drive of the game, and now again on drive happening right now.
It's a very strong line led by Connor Bishop, the tackle. He's headed to Army next year. Brett Gross, the guard. He's a senior at 6 foot, 220 pounds. And then the center, Luke Stengel at 6 foot 4, 250 pounds. I mean, there's a lot to like on this offensive line for Wood, and it's a challenge for LaSalle. They've stood up pretty well so far. About halfway through this second quarter, allowing just that one touchdown and only down by 1 point. It is a strength versus strength type of game, and exactly what you want on a Friday night in high school football.
Yeah, we might see a bit of an endurance race here. That amount of size, that certainly wears on the offense. It'll make it in the game.
I want a little noise out of the student section. You got a big student section. The Salle, this week had promoted. It's obviously October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You see a lot of pink scattered throughout the stands. The student section littered with some of those pink shirts happening, but they're inching down towards that side of the field. I'd like to see the students get up, make some noise, and create some havoc at tough times for Wood offense.
Yeah, it may feel like a bit of a home game, maybe. Parents are definitely yelling. Let's hear some student section.
Here is the give. Pigford is hit in the backfield. Great job by Dylan Trainer. He took the fullback right into the running lane of Pigford and allowed for a lot of help from the other linebackers for LaSalle. Tremendous play.
Nice job by Trainer, like you mentioned, Bob, bringing his blocker right into the line of the run. It shows that you don't always have to be one-on-one with a back. You can use whatever leverage you can take, whether that's using another player, to bring a guy down. And that was just a nice job of being resourceful.
Yeah, you don't often see that from like a linebacker.
Loss of 2 on that play as well. Here's the pitch to Santiago. Santiago has a hole. Santiago to the sideline and taken down inside the 15-yard line.
That was quite I'm sure it's even bigger. Great blocks.
And that's all about the athleticism of their guards. I mean, that left guard pulls to the outside, picks up a linebacker at the second level, and that pushes Santiago through for a gain of 24 yards.
Next up, the Wood student section, which looks maybe quarter the size of this LaSalle one. Up and excited over there.
Student section is just not what it used to be.
Here's a pitch to the outside. Santiago stutters and gets inside the 10. Nice move from him, a gain of 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Vikings, ticking under 6:15.
We talked about his vision on the first drive. Nice job there, recognizing that there was absolutely nothing. Salle did a nice job getting all the way to the outside, but a little bit too far where they left some space for Santiago to cut back into the middle and pick up 5 there on first down.
Still certainly primarily running the ball here, but what's the thinking with the playbook is that different types of runs there and screens.
Different types of ways for Tom Santiago to get the ball. He's got to have 15 touches already. They fake the give, firing to the end zone, and it's broken up. What a play there by the Explorers. Number 3, Frank Joyce, in there on the stop.
An excellent job breaking that one up.
Impressive. Great recognition there. South some great defense there. Obviously made a great play.
Just laying your body on the line at that point. Putting everything you have, going horizontal to the field, and knocking that ball away. Tremendous play, sets up 3rd and 5. Let's see what Wood does with one receiver to the outside in an I formation. Pitches to Santiago. LaSalle can't make the stop. Santiago right to the goal line and gets inside the 1. First down, Wood. 1st and goal upcoming.
Big chance for the Explorers there. 3rd and 5. Wanted to get off the field, but just a nice job up front. Being by this Wood offensive line. Extending, getting outside, creating some space for Santiago, and allowing him to get first down and really right on the doorstep of the goal line once again.
That pitch is starting to work, Tyler. I think that getting him to the outside is the way to exploit this defense because LaSalle is so packed up.
Yeah, I think that will start spreading out the
movement on the offensive line will push it back 5 yards.
Yeah, I think
Right on the play. False start. Wood.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm incredibly impressed by this Wood offensive line. It seems like the South has a numbers well. And their guard pulls and just gets out there quick and picks something up and see if the Ivy doesn't rest.
You don't want to put your D-backs on an island in any situation, but knowing that you could maybe respect Wood's pass game a little less, it'd be interesting to see if maybe the safeties start coming down in his box a little more.
Sure. They're going to go back the other way, flipping it high, and caught for the touchdown. Vikings lead 13-6.
And on cue, talking about not respecting that passing game, but allowing him to be one-on-one. That was just a nice job of floating the ball up to the target. Never going to see a number this far away, with white on yellow and white. But that's what you get. And there is another score for Woods.
The extra point is up and good from Bob Hennessy, and it is 14-6. Archbishop Wood with 4:47 to play in the second quarter. Now, Rob, it was an interesting point you made about putting your quarterbacks on an island. That was obviously a decoy play, a misdirection. But what's interesting is I don't think LaSalle has compromised at all in terms of putting numbers in the box. I haven't seen them play nickel once all night. I mean, they have always had the 7 in the box, and I think they'll continue to do that until Wood does something which I don't expect them to do, which is open it up in the passing game. So I think you're right that perhaps you commit one more safety, but then again, they have never put an extra corner out on the field as far as I've seen tonight. Sam Brown back deep to receive along with Manny Keelis.
Number 27, Sam Brown.
Pooch is short, and it's taken by the Explorers at the 27-yard line. And the Explorers will start there again after the reception by Grant Hughes.
Feels like, that was a long drive by Wood there, a long scoring drive. It feels like it's not that close to the game, but it's only, you look at the score, it's only 14-6. And, there's still very much in the hand of the game. So just a big opportunity here now for the offense to come back out. Tyler in the spot.
Yeah, I might offer the counter point that I thought.
I agree.
LaSalle got some bad breaks there with that holding on Sean Daly was there, and unfortunately, Wood was able to convert on some of the big third downs, and it really turned the
Whether there's 12 men, it looks that way. Or they're not happy. Legal substitution for the Explorers.
I feel like maybe the special teams are still getting their way off the field. But here's what I mean by saying it doesn't feel that close, is that just felt like a very disappointing end to what could have, the Explorers had several opportunities to get off the field to not allow Wood to score. So just an upsetting result to that drive that makes it feel like you're down and out when really it is only a one-score game.
Bob Lewis, glass half empty, guys. 4:46 to play. Daly thinks about slinging it out wide. Now comes across the middle. What a play there by Luke Tardy. He takes a heck of a hit across the middle. And boy, Luke Tardy, I think I was saying Tardy, but not Tardy at all on the throw that time for Sean Daly.
Coming up and stepping up the pace here.
Right up the middle, Manny Keelis. That's enough for our first down. A gain of 3 out to just shy of the 40-yard line.
Brought down by Archbishop.
I like Daly's vision there. He thought he had a guy, he only 3. The next one just fired 40.
Well, you're right, too. A great way to go through the progression because he barely drew the corner and then that opened up the middle of the field. They'll start against the Explorers. We'll back them up again. And Tyler, we'll see if they can do it again.
We'll start with the Explorers, 5-yard
I've
penalty.
seen some sloppy football from the Explorers tonight. Maybe we saw 1 flag so far, and at least 5 on the Explorers so far. And a lot of it is certainly self-inflicted. I mean, some of the holdings you can see, but I mean, the false start, the substitution are pretty obvious. I mean, that's 10 yards and they've on the field. I mean, let's see if they can make up, like you said,
4:04 to play. Clock ticking here in the second quarter.
Back to that Hardy pass real quick. You know, it was nice to see him sort of, like you mentioned, go through the progression, but then to know that that window was opening up for Hardy and cracking that pass.
Daly drops straight back. Daly runs up the middle, but there's no hole to give. He gets a gain of about a half yard. Second down and 15. And that's one where, for me, there wasn't bad protection there, and I think Daly's eyes went down a little bit quickly.
Yeah, just as I got done, saying that he's progressing and kind of seeing him grow as a quarterback, there was a situation where he maybe inexperienced understanding, just that internal clock in your mind went a little quicker than it should have.
Daly fires to the outside, a little high, intended for Sam Brown. That'll be third down and 14.
He certainly hung in there that time.
Yes, he did. The other thing is, even if Brown caught that football, there was a lot of treadle in front. The high pass wasn't the worst thing in the world for the Salle.
Yeah, between the penalties and I'd like to see something, I mean, obviously, it's a team, and yeah, there's not much plays that you can call, but get back to that diversity of play calls.
Third and 14 and a half. I like your precision, my friend. Snap to Daly. He takes off with it and is taken down. Might have been a hold that wasn't called as well, but certainly would have been declined nonetheless by Wood. A great defensive play, and we'll force a LaSalle punt as we take on the 3 minutes left. I'm surprised not to see a timeout here from Archbishop Wood.
Also in the punt to the Explorers.
Snapped that with 18 seconds left on the play clock. Surprised by that one as it's picked up by the Vikings and very shortly thereafter taken down. Guys, surprised you don't take another 18 seconds off that clock. With 2 minutes now and 33 seconds left, could have looked a lot differently closer to 2 minutes left in the half.
Yeah, some, no timeout by Wood is kind of negated by the fact that the Explorers decided to get the ball out. I don't know if you're trying to save some time and think you can force a 3 and out here, get the ball back yourself, maybe. But you're getting the ball at the half. You would have been maybe more in the right to allow that clock to run down and leave less time on the clock for Wood to do something.
You're exactly right, Rob. To begin the second half, LaSalle will receive the kickoff. So now this becomes an enormous drive for Archbishop Wood to try to put their foot on the throat a little bit, and for LaSalle, they need to stop. They take the shot over the top on the wheel route, and it's overthrown, intended for Pickford. But that was pretty darn good defense from Frank Joyce. I mean, he read that well, and as soon as Pickford turned up foot on the wheel, he was with him every step of the way. It would have needed to have been a perfect throw.
Yeah, I've never experienced this, but that's Frank Joyce. That must be such a stressful thing. You can hear them scream and pass. You know it's your guy, and luckily, like you said, he covered great, but it would have taken a perfect pass.
You having some internal flashbacks there, Tyler?
Flashbacks that I never had, yes.
Yeah, fair enough. There's got to be something on the defensive line that's a little stressful. Here's again Santiago, full head of steam. He gets a first down up past the 40-yard line to the 45. And guys, that's been their most effective play. The toss sweep and a pulling guard.
Yeah, that was just a nice job by Jalen DeVos to be able to get to Santiago's shoelaces basically and pull him down. Prevent that from being anything worse than what it was.
Yeah, these are some large gains. It seemed like the Explorers were trying to dial in on Santiago, but between him and the offensive line, I think it's still in trouble for the Explorers in the past couple of plays.
So the Explorers go with a 3-4 here, a different look. Actually, 5 linebackers out there as they give it up the middle. Jake Ross kept it himself and went in between the angels.
Jake Ross, quarterback keeper.
I was not looking at Ross at all. So nice job by the Explorers to do better than the color commentator up in the booth here to spot that one and prevent it from being anything.
Or maybe you were looking at Ross and you just couldn't tell with the washed yellow numbers against the white jersey.
Totally fair. Who knows with the uniforms, right? They look great, but they make life very difficult up here.
The white is very slimming as well, so you can be like a lineman. Pick up his legs.
So here's the thing about a running offense when you're running a 2-minute drill. It takes a little while. It's 1:23 to play, second and short. Trying to take the shot. Abdul Carter missed him. Now he's got a shot to let it go if he wants it, but he chooses not to, and now a timeout is called after a sack that brings Wood back 2 yards. Great play by Ross. You got to get rid of the football.
Yeah, you can't, especially if you're in a situation where you're trying to run that 2-minute drill. And you hear it on National Football League broadcasts all the time to not take that sack in these 2-minute situations. Continue to run, and he's right there.
One timeout left for each team with 1:10 to play in the second quarter.
That was a good play by, I think it was Carter there, who kind of forced Ross out of the pocket. He came in hot, and a little too hot, unfortunately, still off, but he kind of forced the play outside, and I think Ross just held on to that too. Maybe there was something there, but you got to get rid of the ball.
You want to talk about some athleticism, Tyler, coming out of the outside linebacker position? I mean, that's what you're talking about. I know you, as the D lineman, played with guys either to your left or to your right, depending upon what side you lined up on. And you just knew that guy next to you was a guy who gets into the backfield. As a D lineman, what's it like to play with a linebacker, an O linebacker specifically, that can get to the quarterback that well?
I mean, it certainly takes a lot of pressure off you. Take a job of like making sure that you came to the outside, but they also get a lot of the glory. So it's a love-hate relationship.
1:10 to play. See, there's the flashbacks that I'm talking about.
That's what's frustrating, not getting the glory.
3rd and 4, they pitch it to the outside. Santiago gets a first down and stays in bounds. The clock will stop for just a second as they reset the chains, and Archbishop Wood will quickly get the offense back up to the line.
First down, Wood.
Talk about not getting glory. It's always the worst. I mean, offensive linemen, they get through. They never notice it until they make a mistake.
Under a minute to play. Ross rolls to his right, throws it over the top, and that has a lot of steam well over the head of his intended receiver. Had no shot.
And the play was there as well. I think, like you said, he's not too much experience in the passing game, and he can't line his own shoes. That was cannon. It was just way overthrown.
So now 2nd down and 10, 54.5 to play. I wonder if Wood goes back one more time to the toss sweep, guys. One, because it's been their big breaker in terms of plays, and 2, you can also get Santiago headed towards the sideline and perhaps get him out of bounds. Quick out to the outside, it's intercepted! LaSalle has an interception, and it's a foot race inside the 20-yard line. Inside the 15, Griffin Sobel, the interception and return, and that sets up LaSalle with 43 seconds left in the half.
to the 13-yard line. The Explorers will start first and 10.
There was one guy
one thing I had is that Jalen was trying to figure out where Griffin was behind him and just paid a little bit too much attention to his teammate rather than trying to play into that.
One on the play clock. And it's going to be a delay of game. Daly doesn't get the snap off.
Flag on the play, delay of game.
It's unfortunate. It's not something necessarily on the sideline you're counting on. An interception, a return, the ball to be this far down the field, so you're quickly trying to get your calls in from the sideline on something that maybe you weren't quite prepared for. And it's tough on a 25-second play clock to be ready for that.
They seem to be pretty strict with it in high school. You see that on NFL broadcasts. I feel like the clock hits zero more often than you care to see it.
Or if you're a Penn State football fan. 2014, not better. Nice catch on the outside on the out route from Khalil Diarra. Inside the 15-yard line to about the 11. He might have taken a shot had the wind took out of him as he fell on that football out there.
Daly's pass completion to Khalil Diarra.
Doing so, just fell flat on his stomach, which just happened to be on top of the ball.
.8 seconds to play. Ball at the 11. Daly up the middle. Daly to the end zone. Touchdown to Salle.
There it is. Daly again.
And LaSalle is going to chase the points here with 34 seconds left in the first half. Down 14-12 after a PAT miss the first touchdown. And LaSalle's going to go for the points right now, trying to tie this game up at 14.
You'll have to ask me if I like the ball.
Riverboat Rob in there on the case. Interesting formation with tight receivers here. The give. They're going to fire it back. Daly, jump ball, and it's intercepted.
And there, well, that was so much the pitch that, we were talking about all half here about. They're just getting the ball to Brown, allowing him to throw it. Brown does not have the cannon that Diarra has. And it's unfortunate there that you do not get the 2 points.
I'll say this isn't on Sam Brown.
No.
I mean, Daly was well covered and would sniff that out.
34 seconds.
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, the defender stayed home, didn't get caught up in all the commotion and action that was going on in the backfield, and did a nice job of reading it, being there to break it up.
No, they watched that pretty special. There could have been a chance that they sailed that ball more to the inside. I mean, you're not the quarterback, so it's difficult to read that.
That's right. This is the full team from that night. First time we've all been back together since the Philly special. Gang's all here.
That was a fun one. Still pinned to the top of the Twitter
Alpha to
account.
kick off for the Explorers.
Which I guess we could get in before the half ends here. Just time over the half to allow our listeners to let us know where you at.
Go for it.
Let us know where you at. Tweet at Bob Long Sports.
Pretty early for where you at, Bob.
Well, giddy.
LaSalle gets the stop at the 40-yard line on the squib kick. 28 seconds, I should say, left in this first half.
Come off of a big score like that, feeling good. I don't have to try to upgrade the board here as we're doing a game. We got Bob helping us, so we don't have to worry about audio issues. It's, why not do a little early where you at?
We have a little more than 5 pixels this time on the screen as well. It's good.
Which
Last
will
time
start
it was
first and 10.
like watching back in what I imagine it'd be like watching back in the 50s.
Or last week from George Washington High School.
Oh, yeah, tremendous.
I heard I missed the doozy there, guys.
You did. So let's see what Archbishop Wood decides to do here. Tight formation. And they give it up the middle to misdirection. And here's a lot of yards. Pulled down from behind inside the 40-yard line. Wood back up to the line quickly. 20 seconds left on the clock. They lead by 2. They won more. And less than 2 seconds come off the clock.
Let's go, Keys!
Ross spikes the football. 18 seconds left in the second quarter. And that's one, guys, that frankly, Sal's got to be ready for.
Yeah.
Got to be ready for the misdirection because you know that Wood's going to come up with something. And over the top hasn't really been there, and they didn't have wide receivers out near the sidelines, outside the hash marks, really. You got to be ready for something like that. But they still have time to come up with a stop.
Yeah, 18 seconds. South 40, time something on their side.
Ross rolls. Ross throws to the outside, caught and stepping out of bounds. That'll be right up near the first down marker. And it was Pigford on the catch.
First down. Picture here, a shot or two to the end zone, and then I think we're going to see what the Archbishop Wood kicking unit has in store.
Bob Hennessy has a nice leg.
I was watching him pregame. He looked like he was kicking at least, his kicks could at least make it 40 yards. He had a boot and it was consistent.
Right here would be a 45-yard field goal. 13 seconds left in the half. Flip to the outside a little bit high. Still one timeout left for Archbishop Wood, so depending upon their confidence in the field goal unit, the middle of the field is still open for the Vikings.
Really a big play. If you're saying, Tyler, that 40 seemed to be his range comfortably, need another 4 or 5 yards here to be right at the edge of that. So really, for LaSalle, you got to be ready for anything at this point. Especially like you said, Bob, with one timeout left, the Wood offense can kind of, the entire playbook is at their disposal at this point. So we'll see what they come out here and try to do.
We haven't seen them run out of this formation yet today. Shotgun, drops straight back, fires it for the end zone, and it's incomplete. They had a shot. Griffin Zobel was in coverage, hung with them long enough. It was a little bit of an extension of the arm by the receiver as well. But Griffin Zobel did a really nice job hanging out on that play.
Seemed like the receiver right in the hands as well. That's a tough catch. Be able to turn around like that.
So 45 appears to be outside the range for Bob Hennessy and the kicking unit for Archbishop Wood. 4.4 seconds. Oh, no, there he is. He's out there. Wow. The offense looked like it was staying out on the field. And actually, you know why we thought that? Because it looked like Jake Ross lining up.
That was a joke, Bob.
Because the white uniforms are thinning.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yes.
It all comes full circle.
Yes. No, it is incredibly, that yellow and white is so hard to tell, but I saw the black tee on the ground and some guy stretching out his hamstring, so I think that is the kicking unit.
It's the kicking unit. But my point is, number 14 is out there.
I think he's the holder. He was definitely out there. I saw Ross out there.
Yeah, I thought he was lining up. Perhaps. Yeah, as I looked there, there's Bob Hennessy, number 43. And it is Ross to be the holder. So, they're going to give it a shot from 45 yards away. 4.4 seconds left in the half. It's been a good half so far, and LaSalle will get the ball to begin the second half.
Light win tonight, but honestly, he has a shot at this thing.
Hennessy lines it up from the left hash from 45 yards away. The kick is on the way, and it is no good.
So right on that edge, right where we were talking about, where for him. Would have been good for 40, but just not enough leg at 45.
Explorers really luck out there. The wood was moving down the field. They had luckily they scored some time on their side. We were able to pop right out there.
So the difference is 2 touchdowns, but the difference is the extra points. And the difference is LaSalle misses the first extra point, and then going for 2 on the second one, not quite getting it. But a very competitive game, guys, for a LaSalle team that is really starting to find itself in this portion of the season. Very impressed with their performance. And Tyler, I'll start with you. What do you think was kind of the defining areas of this first half?
Well, like you said, Explorers had to take a little soft and they were running all over them. But after they scored, they settled in, and the offense was able to answer as well. This second quarter was good. But then we kind of saw with Santiago probably had 20 touches like I said, something close to that. Honestly, the Explorers defense keeps it interesting. They keep that big turnover there. After LaSalle's offense was flooded out due to mistakes, and kind of gave life to the offense. Their defense, if they can hang in there in the grand squad, offensive linemen, I think we can do a great job.
Same
question?
Yes.
So,
you're under it, remember.
So what stands out to me is the continued growth of Sean Daly. He's maturing as a quarterback, learning this offense, continuing to improve, make the right decisions, and then just really starting to rely on his athleticism. We saw there several occasions in the first half where he broke enormous runs right up the middle, essentially. The offensive line doing the job for one of just getting pulled back. But that he's been everything's operating for Sean Daly. He's got the 12 points. He has the 12 points on the board. Arch punted him. So this is just another case of Sean Daly continuing to improve, and this, the coaches allowing him to get involved in more of the playbook and really open things up for him and let him exploit his talent.
It's a game of adjustments here in football, and I think in the second half, guys, it will be so interesting from a football nerd perspective to see what these teams decide to do. Because LaSalle understands that Woods wants to run it down their throat, but Wood made an adjustment, and they were flipping to the outside and trust in the athleticism of their guards. Well, what adjustments will LaSalle make? We saw even in the last drive of the first half, LaSalle started to make those adjustments. LaSalle's had a lot of offensive success with Sean Daly on the pure read option. Wood doesn't have that on film because LaSalle didn't really run that earlier in the year. What did the Vikings come out of the half with, and can LaSalle adjust to that? Really good football game, 2 really good football teams, 2 really good football coaches. It's everything you can ask for here from Dublin High School. We're going to take a break and come back to begin the second half in about 10 minutes. And he's Rob, he's Tyler, I'm Bob. That's Mara behind the camera helping us out, and we'll be right back here on BLS. It was very awesome. Yeah. Rob, I was laughing when you were saying it would have been good from 40. Do you remember last week when it got to the point where we were just like screwing around at the end of that game? And that guy for LaSalle kicks the extra point. Yeah. And it was
the low line drive. Yeah, like just barely got through, right?
Check 1, 2.
You good?
Check 1, 2, 3.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
would say that LaSalle is dynamic. Prepared. Active. Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic. Prepared. Active. Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic.
Prepared. Active. Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic.
Prepared. Active. Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Don't Be difference. You'll be glad you did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I would say that LaSalle is dynamic.
Prepared. Active. Diverse. Brotherhood. Family.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome into Upper Dublin High School. Beginning of the second half about to commence here on BLS. I'm Bob Long. That's Tyler Kern. That is Rob Stott. We have Mara Long, I should say, behind the camera. That was a bad misstep.
Hey,
for the
congrats,
first,
married
three
man.
times that I said that. Mara Long behind the camera.
Don't ask.
Yes, indeed. Wow, here we go. Live television. Gotta love it. Second half about to begin. It's 14-12. Archbishop Wood leads. LaSalle's going to get the football here, guys. And what we've seen offensively is that LaSalle has had success when they're running downhill and when they've been able to open up the field in the passing game. So, some of those sweeps to the outside haven't quite been as successful, but at the very minimum, the threat of that has drawn the defense to the outside, and Sean Daly's taken some pure RPOs right up the middle, two of which went for very deep runs and led to touchdowns. So I think Sean Daly really the key here for LaSalle, guys, as they enter the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. This offense, Wood had, obviously just 12 points on the board. Those two Daly runs have been sort of the key for this offense and what's worked tonight. But the weapons, the options for LaSalle's offense are really what kind of have to keep Wood in check, because they have to take care of everyone. You can't not worry about one guy, because then LaSalle can go ahead and beat you with someone else. So it's nice to see all of these weapons work in. Each week it's kind of a different guy that sort of shines through, and tonight it's absolutely Sean Daly, the guy you want to shine through on a weekly basis in your quarterback. So nice to see him have the success he's having tonight, supported obviously by a strong offensive line showing, giving him the room to run. And we'll see if they can't continue that here in the second half.
Tyler, let's talk defense as you come from the defensive side of the ball. What do you think LaSalle needs to do on that side of the football?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Obviously Daly's important, but I think we need to see more out of the defensive front. I think they've done a good job. They kind of lost their footing there midway through the first half, but they kind of found themselves at the end there. Actually, they gave up quite a bit, but they had time on their hands there, or time on their side there.
Yes.
I would like to see them dial in more on Santiago, kind of key off him, and also I mean, we've seen that the quarterback has the ability to run the ball too. So key off him as well. I'd really like that front seven to just kind of down on the run a little bit more. I think they've done a pretty good job, only letting up 14 points in the first half.
Let's get it to the field here, though, real quick, because we have the second half beginning. Tyler, always verbose, never with something lacking to say.
It was like 30 seconds.
In fairness, I didn't time you up very well, my friend.
Sorry, I'd rather our viewers watch the game because I'm selfless. Unlike
Is a team
some people,
player like that?
Rob.
Ooh, that hurts.
Bob Hennessy will kick it deep for the Archbishop Wood Vikings. Back deep to receive Keyless and Brown. This will chase Keyless back into the end zone. Touchback.
I was going to say, Wood doing you some favors there by letting that ball fall off the tee. Get us all set up and ready to go here with the camera on the field, and now we're all set.
I think
for
Bob
a strong
Hennessy
second
knew.
half.
I think he knew.
That was a strong kick.
It was.
Might have had. I think it looks like they have wind on their side a bit, but
yeah, the wind shifted in the last 20 minutes, and that could have been the difference between a 45-yard field goal being good and no good to end the first half.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm interested to see. I want to see some more diversity in the play calls again. Like I was saying, I thought their Explorers were really creative in the beginning of the first half and kind of sputtered out a bit towards the end there. I'd like to see more of that and strong plays from Sean Daly.
3 receivers to the near side. Khalil Diar on the far side. 1 safety over top. Daly just takes it right up the middle and runs right into the back of his guard, pushing forward for a gain of 3.
And the Explorers going right back to what works here to open up the second half, and that's Daly up the middle. That time, Wood, though, ready for it. Linebackers, linemen staying home and making sure to bottle him up. And LaSalle, very clear what the message is, I think, at halftime, that you want to keep the ball in Sean Daly's hands.
They gave him 2 on that run, so 2nd and 8. Same formation. DR a little bit in tighter, right by the outside hash mark. Daly will do the same thing, and he's got a lot more room this time. Pulled down as he approaches the 30-yard line. Looks like a gain of 6. Maybe 7. Could be 3rd and 1 here for the Explorers.
Yeah, it looks like could have been 7 there, Bob. No. I am confirming what I see on the field.
That's right.
I'm sorry. That was not a jab at you, Bob. I have the utmost respect for you.
Didn't come across nearly as sarcastic as it sounded.
Again, they kept it in Daly's hands, though.
This time they'll give it to Keyless, and Keyless has enough for a first down. Got to the line again, maybe a half yard more, and the Explorers have a first down.
So run here to open up the second half for the Explorers, and it's working so far. A couple nice jobs blocking by this offensive line, and Daly taking it for a couple runs, and that time Keyless just able to push it across for the first down.
$10:36 to play. 3rd quarter. Daly alone in the shotgun. They bring Brown in motion, and there's a flag. False start against the Explorers.
Diarra was wide open downfield. And I think Daly saw that, and you could see the frustration on his face. And I really thought they were going to try to clean up some of these penalties. But, again, Explorers kind of starting off, shooting themselves in the foot, 5 yards deep on 1st and 15.
Yeah, it's a self-inflicted wound there, but part of it, I think, you have a lot of moving parts on this offense with so many weapons and trying to get a lot of misdirection happening and just different looks pre-snap. So, young team, not that they're totally inexperienced, but those kinds of things are bound to happen with this type of offense.
Daly drifts and fires. It's deflected there. Great play by the Archbishop Wood Vikings, and coming up with the tip that time was Brad Otto.
That's a difficult thing to do, and Otto just kind of got his hand up there, and sometimes you got to close your eyes and hope for the best, and he made a good deflection there and saved the possibly decent gain there.
That, again, I think back to last week, and we saw, the Explorer coaches are willing to allow Daly to come out to his left and throw sort of against his body, which is, interesting. I guess they believe he has the arm strength to do it, and again, run a similar play where he's throwing with his throwing arm forward.
Now Daly takes off. Not a lot of room, but tries to beat them to the sideline, pulled down from behind, and gets a gain of a few.
That looked like the exact play that was called back for the false start, and I think Daly, on that first time he came around, he liked what he saw there, but this time it seemed like Wood snuffed it out and was able to bring him out for maybe even a loss there. Third and long once again. I'm interested to see if they go for a pass here.
9:56 to play. 3rd and 15. Daly in the shotgun. Drops straight back. Thought about firing. Now tries to run away and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down.
A lot of confusion pre-snap for Wood there. If Daly just had more time to look to his left, confused D-backs and wide receivers, sticking to their routes could have led to something big, maybe picking up the first down there, but just a nice job by Wood's front 7 to get into the backfield and cause some havoc.
The punt is away, and Wood is fielded at about the 45-yard line. And that's where Jake Ross and the Wood offense will come back onto the field with 9:18 to play, leading by 2, and they got their first stop of the second half.
And Wood starting off with some great field position at their own 45 there. And like you were saying, Rob, I think we noticed there that Daly didn't really do much of a pre-snap read, especially to his left. I mean, it's easy for us to see up here, but down on the field, he just had to look left and saw that he could have potentially had a guy wide open if he was able to rush the snap a little more, and maybe even large enough for a first down, but we will never know.
Ross is back out on the field in the I formation of the Vikings. They sweep it to the outside again, and he's taken down after a gain of 5.
And Wood coming back out. The pitches, or what we talked about during halftime, worked for them. Getting that motion to the outside and getting their guys in space, trying to get around the edge of the Explorers, and that time, pick up 5, a nice gain on first down for them.
Yeah, opportunity for a tackle for a loss there. Just kind of slid off his man. I couldn't tell who that was, but these pitches really working well for Santiago and the Vikings.
2nd down and 5. Up to the line they go. Again, a tight formation. They give it to the fullback, and he's going to have a full head of steam across the first down marker. A gain of 7 yards and a first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, it's looking like the beginning of the game right now. They're, 2 plays, but they just ran about 15 yards and with some ease there. I think the Explorers, maybe, temperature's dropping a little bit of wind. Maybe they're got to warm up again, but they're certainly not coming out as we'd like to see them.
And Wood trying to enforce their will with that offensive line.
Just busting through the line, and you talk about form tackling. I never played defense, Tyler, but I imagine if you want to diagram a form tackle, that was it, and that was just leveling your man and not letting him go anywhere.
That was quite the savage tackle there. I have headphones on, and I heard the pop from up here.
He's been waiting for that one all year. Here's the pitch. They've had a lot of success with this one. LaSalle trying to string it out, and they do a decent job of it. It's a gain of 3, gets them back just to about the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Interesting field position here, Rob. 3rd and 10, but at the LaSalle 43-yard line. Could be 4-down territory for the Vikings. Let's see if this play design is with that in mind and if they go back to the sweep.
Yeah, you're in a spot of the field where, a punt that gets out of bounds or into the end, you don't want to, have a punt go off the side of your foot, obviously, but even one into the end zone, it's not really flipping the field that much, so see what they do.
They fake the give. LaSalle trying to bring the pressure. Firing over the top, and the man's wide open. Being pulled down, continuing to go forward. Number 86, Bill Cook, gets inside the 10-yard line. And that's the first big over-the-top play we've seen all day from the Vikings.
That there might have been a case of the Explorers, knowing that they haven't been able to go over the top, stacking the box, and Woods able to exploit it by finding their man and picking up a huge gain and a big first down here.
Yeah, Bill Cook was wide open there, wide open, and he hopped for another 3 or 4 yards there too.
6:32 to play. LaSalle trying to keep Wood out of the end zone. First down and goal from the 8. The give up the middle is to the fullback, and he continues to push forward inside the 5. That's a gain of 4 yards. Leroy Pendleton got the carry. He's played pretty well at the fullback position here tonight.
He's using his offensive line and his size to just basically, impose his will against this LaSalle front.
Abdul Carter will come off the field for the Explorers. Two tight ends on the field for the Vikings. The pitch is to Santiago, and he's hit before the end zone, tries to move forward, doesn't get anywhere, only to the line of scrimmage, and it will be third down and goal from the 3.
Great job by the Explorers that time, recognizing the pitch right away, getting their guys out there, staying home, not, allowing Wood to set that edge and preventing the touchdown.
Yeah, the way I saw Santiago turn upfield there, I thought he had a gap, and great, and he just met a wall of blue there. So that was an impressive stop by the Explorers.
5 minutes, 10 seconds to play. Clock ticks, and Wood is in the shotgun. 4 receivers. They spread it out here at the goal line. Ross takes off, Ross is hit, and Ross goes down. A loss of 1 at the 4, and LaSalle's defense, with their backs up against the wall, stands up.
That was an interesting play call there. LaSalle's pass rush has been pretty good all night, and maybe they was just expecting them to run upfield a little more, but that play was snuffed out from the beginning.
Yeah, excellent job by the defense, recognizing the sneak attempt and forcing the field goal attempt here.
Bob Hennessy. The kick is high, through, and good, and Archbishop Wood leads 17-12, but in many ways, a win for the Explorers there after Wood marched right down the field.
Yeah, nice job by LaSalle, keeping this to still a one-possession game, not, letting what Wood had done earlier on that drive get inside their heads and able to stand up tall right down at the goal line and prevent them from getting in for 6 and giving their offense a chance to go back on the field and maybe take a lead here.
Yeah, LaSalle's red zone defense has been pretty stellar tonight. Obviously they let up 2 runs earlier, but overall, you can certainly see they play much better in the red zone, which is surprising with how easily the Vikings have been running the ball down their throats. But as soon as it gets past that 20-yard line, they do a great job of just kind of holding fast and making tackles.
It's kind of that, bend, don't break mentality, and, what I feel like everyone's been saying. Obviously, I have to talk and make an Eagles reference here, but Jalen Mills, a guy that, he'll give you from 20 to 20, but get inside of the red zone, and he's a lockdown corner. That's kind of how LaSalle's been playing tonight.
Bob Hennessy will kick it deep. Sam Brown is deep, as is Manny Keelis. Keelis ups and makes the play at the 15-yard line. He cuts up the middle and is hit just inside the 25-yard line. He's down there. And it'll be a long field for the Explorers, but they come out with the football down just 1 possession.
Yeah, Keelis took quite a hit to the head there. But I don't know how they do it sometimes, Rob. He was being held, and the other guy just came and just pummeled him right in the head. Unfortunately, for not much of a gain either. Starting out, it looks like their own 26-27. Explorers need to avoid the laundry of this drive. They've been killing themselves with flags.
3 receivers to the far side. No safety help really over the top. Just 1 in the middle who's accounting for Keelis. So they'll sling it to the outside. Sam Brown taken down from behind. A really nice play out there by the Vikings. Brad Otto got the tackle at the 23-yard line.
No flag, but tackle for loss. It certainly hurts. I think maybe a little RPO action from Daly.
Loss of 2 yards on the play.
The give is to Tatlungari, and he's flattened by 2 Vikings in the backfield, and the Explorers are going backwards here offensively.
Yeah, it looks like Daly thought about keeping it there, but possibly made the wrong choice. I couldn't see what was on the outside there if he had anything, but
I think he would have had some trouble there, Tyler. I think the issue is that LaSalle's offensive line is having trouble right now as Wood starts to make adjustments and is just pinning the ears back and coming after him.
Yeah, I think you are onto something. There's a lot of white in the backfield.
They're adding this 3-4, and they're bringing a couple of those outside linebackers. They don't bring much pressure here. And LaSalle goes with a screen. Well diagnosed that time by Wood. Keyless slips out of bounds. Maybe a gain of 3, but Wood did a nice job there on 3rd and long, not to commit too many guys into the backfield, and they were well prepared for the screen on 3rd and long.
Yeah, that screen was interesting to me. It seemed like the linemen ran past their blocking. I don't know if the play was just blown up, but I thought that was really interesting how Keyless was kind of just surrounded by white there, and his lineman was already downfield.
Dan Gandolfo will kick it. This is a low kick, and it's going to be caught there at the 42-yard line, and a lot of room for Pigford. Pigford cuts inside. Zobel tried to pull him down. He slowed him down just enough to save him from scoring 6, but Wood is in business inside the LaSalle 15 with 2:52 to play.
These line drive punts are killing them. They Explorers don't have enough time to get down the field, and it just seemed like they didn't have anyone ready for the bounce outside, which is going to happen. I didn't see anybody on the left side or the far side of the field there. And it just kind of.
You're exactly right about the punt and the hang time, and that it just gives you room, gives you openings, and Pigford took full advantage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the cold has something to do with these low punts or if it's just kind of not falling on the foot right or.
I think that one in particular didn't fall on the foot right.
Yes, it's important to fall on the foot right.
He's not the best color guy in the league for nothing. That's a major league quote.
You could have said he's not the best color guy and ended it there.
Ball is on the ground. Ball was fumbled. LaSalle thinks they have it. There's a scrum at the 14-yard line. Did LaSalle catch a break? Still no signal. LaSalle thinks they have it, and they do. There's your signal on the right-hand side of your screen. Fresco dances off the field in jubilation, and the Explorers catch a break.
A huge break for LaSalle after giving up what was a very impressive punt return and putting their defense in a tough situation, able to step up, create the turnover, and put their offense back on the field.
Yeah, it's certainly a team sport. Special teams has a little lapse there, but the defense comes up huge and gives their offense an opportunity. And honestly, they can't afford these losses. They can't afford these flags. They just need to play good mental football, and I think they have a chance here.
Guys, I think if you keep Keyless in the backfield as an extra blocker and you run somebody into the middle of the field, I think that's going to be open with how many guys Wood is bringing. This is a give up the middle to Manny Keyless. A flag throws in, and they think the ball's out now. Wood thinks the football's out. I don't think it did, though. Still no signal from the field. There was a flag. It likely will go against the Explorers. And indeed it will.
Well, that hurts. That's they actually did both things that I said not to do. There was a tackle for a loss and there was a holding penalty. That's pretty awesome, actually. Like, not awesome, but actually the opposite. It was quite disappointing.
You're saying you're impressed by your ability to call things out.
Yes. Imagine that.
It's like you have ESP. And
yeah, offensive coordinator, you don't want to make mistakes. Imagine that.
Second down and 20, or actually it'll be first down and 20 as they don't lose the down. 17-12, 2:35 on the clock. For all that, guys, LaSalle still has the football down one possession, and they've shown the ability to rip off some big plays. Fire to the outside. Did Hardy make that catch? He did. After it was deflected right at the line of scrimmage, it made its way to the 10-yard line. Hardy made the play, and they made it about half the yardage. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
So that's where the experience of making circus catches comes in Hardy's favor, and he's able to spot the ball in midair after being tipped and come down with it and at least get some positive yardage there.
Yeah, that's a shame. If he caught Hardy in stride, Hardy would have had at least another 5 yards. So, a great play by Hardy getting back, though.
Safety over to the top on the outside. 2 receivers on the near side, ball on the near hash. They fake the give. Now a screen or a slant comes across to Diarra. Diarra makes the play, and he picks up 10. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
There's the connection we've liked to see all year, the Sean Daly, Khalil Diarra connection coming through once again here to start this second, well, not to start the second drive of the second half for the Explorers, but giving some positive yardage to the offense and setting up a 3rd and manageable here.
And guys, there's some of that room across the middle that I was talking about. I think there is room on slants if they continue to go to it. 3rd and 5, 1:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. Daly straight back. Daly up the middle. There's a spy on him. He dives, doesn't quite get to the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down, should say 4th down and 3, and the Explorers will be forced to punt.
And I think if you're the Vikings watching some of this film from the past games, you do put a spy on Daly. It's really important. He can make plays, but, I mean, sacrificing that one guy for Daly certainly prevents those big plays, and I think they made those adjustments in the halftime.
Gandolfo set to punt. He's kicked low liners here tonight. That one's another low liner, but should take a LaSalle hop. Instead, it spins back a little bit and is touched at the 47-yard line. So Wood gets more good field position. And LaSalle's defense will be asked once again to stand up, drawing a fumble on the last drive.
That one checked up, but it looked like if it had fallen again, it might have gone back and given LaSalle some positive yards, on this drive. But unfortunate, so again, up to this defense to step it up and see what they can't do to prevent Wood from putting more points on the board.
Yeah, I don't think it would have gone that far, but Rob, to your point, at that point, that's why you teach standing with your back to your own goal line in front of the football as it rolls, so that if it bounces backwards, it hits you. If it bounces the other way, you let it go. And that time, the LaSalle gunner had his chest to the LaSalle goal line. This is a tight formation here for Wood, and they didn't get the playoff. And that one's inexcusable for Jake Ross and the Vikings.
And some Bronx cheers coming from the LaSalle side for a flag on Wood. Just want to point that out. Find it to be amusing.
I think that might have been the second flag of the night on Wood. That's, I mean, you can't deny that one. Once that clock hits 0, it should be obvious.
33 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Wood with a 17-12 lead, and the football on their side of midfield.
Basically flipping that tight formation.
Tom Santiago, the deep back, and he will get the carry. And right there to wrap him up was Griffin Zobel and Jalen DeVos.
Excellent job by both Zobel and DeVos to stay home. Recognize that play was coming right at them and shed their blockers and bring down Santiago.
Guys, Griffin Zobel's playing a good football game tonight. We're saying his name a lot, and he's in the right spot at the right time. Ticking under 10 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. We will go to the 4th with a good football game here at Upper Dublin. Just 3 points scored in that 3rd quarter. A 5-point lead for the Vikings. And they drive with the football here as we head to the last 12 minutes. We'll take a break and come back on the other side. You are watching LaSalle College High School football right here on Bob Long Sports.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to BLS's coverage of LaSalle College High School football. Bob Long, Tyler Kern, Rob Stott, Mara Long on camera. And in the shotgun is Jake Ross. The handoff is to Tom Santiago. That one was kind of a botched play there. Yep. The timing was way off, guys, on that snap. And Santiago had to kind of run in place as he came across the line, which led to LaSalle being able to stop him after a gain of 3.
A little high for him, which when you're in a, running a play where timing's everything, you got to get that handoff off. Running back's coming right at you. You had to quickly get that ball from way above his head down to his running back's arms, and that allowed the LaSalle defense to basically turn that into a busted play and force a 3rd and long here.
11:22 to play. Clock ticks here in the final quarter from Upper Dublin. They need 10 yards. They need to get to the LaSalle 42. They fake the give. They're going to take a shot. Instead, Ross is going to run with it, and he gets to midfield, and that is all. And thrown out of bounds late. A late flag comes in against the Explorers, and almost certainly a 15-yard personal foul penalty, one you just didn't need.
Yeah, I saw that from here. It looked like almost a punch was thrown. There were at least some shoving and some jersey grabbing after the play was over, out of bounds, right on Wood sideline.
Yeah, LaSalle fans aren't going to like it, Tyler, but unfortunately, anything even halfway close to that is going to get called. And once you feel that you're out of bounds there, you just got to let them go. And it's tough. It's tough in the heat of the moment. I know you know that from being out there. You just can't do that.
That is a huge momentum shift. That is what wins or loses games there. That is a big, big mistake for the Explorers.
So now LaSalle's defense will have to come up with a stop here. Ball is at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for Wood, another tight formation, and the give is to Santiago. Santiago pulled down by Griffin Zobel, but not after a gain of 7.
Strong carry by Santiago. Just, time for this Explorers defense to step up.
That was a great block by the left tackle there, Rob, as he pushed the defensive end outside and allowed him to get through that gap.
Santiago is going to need an ice bath tomorrow morning. He's getting a lot of touches, and he's getting hit hard. Also delivering those hits as well, though.
Ball's on the ground. Ross fortunate to get back on top of it. It should be a loss of about 1. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
And again, just a big opportunity on 3rd down. It should have been off the field last time on 3rd down. You got another opportunity here to force, Wood into a situation where they're making a decision on a hopeful 4th down here.
Yes.
3rd down and 3.
Yes.
Here's the sweep. They've been successful with this before. LaSalle trying to string it out. Oof. Hit hard. It's going to be a yard past the yard to gain, or the line to gain. It's a 1st down for Wood.
They look like Frank Joyce, I think, that came up with the hit. Leveled him, took him off his feet, and brought him down, but unfortunately just past that line.
And he felt the effects of that hit. He's feeling it right now. He was bent over after that. That was quite the hit. That was impressive, but he's feeling that, and that's an unfortunate 1st down for the Vikings. Unless you were a Vikings fan, that it is very fortunate.
22-yard line as Wood drives down the field. It would be a 39-yard field goal from here. Hennessy has that range. They fake and give it up the middle, and here's a lot of room inside the 15 to the 10. Joyce pulling down, and it's inside the 10-yard line. The run came from number 22 for Archbishop Wood, Ryan DeVirgilis.
Just that misdirection, that fake pitch by Wood, beautifully executed. Fake pitch to an inside handoff, going the other direction, and got LaSalle's defense moving one way, and ball was going the other.
They're going to have to get this play off quickly here, guys. Play clock is down to 10, and they break the huddle now. 8:53 to play. Play clock is down to 3. They get the snap off, pitch it to the outside. Santiago hit at the 10 and pushes forward to about the 8. gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 8. This is absolutely essential that LaSalle holds them to a field goal. It would keep it a 1-possession game with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion being the difference.
Yeah, we'll see if LaSalle steps up again in the red zone. They did a great job last time. Kind of found themselves in a way. They got to look out for Santiago here and not give up any big plays.
No receivers, a bunch of tight ends, and 1 deep back. They fake the give, slip somebody outside, a bunch of guys. They fire to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Archbishop Wood. Good throw that time from Jake Ross across his body. Found him wide open in the back of the end zone.
Showing clear run, packing the field with a lot of big men, a lot of big tight ends, no wide receivers, no true wide receivers. And, of course you expect them to go run there, and they don't, and they get the touchdown.
Extra point is up and good, and it is a 12-point football game. Archbishop Wood 24, LaSalle 12.
So now if you're LaSalle, this becomes a must-be mistake-free football from here on in. Defense, looking them to step up the rest of the way as well, but certainly not out of hand. 8 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time to come back, but you're going to have to do a little soul-searching on offense. Got to get something working for you here and see what they do as they come out here for their, I believe, first fourth-quarter possession.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to win a football game when you've only got 12 points on the board. LaSalle's offense needs to do something here to show, some semblance of urgency.
Well, guys, still a full complement of timeouts and still just a 2-touchdown game. Now, the one thing in the first half, not to belabor this, but when I made the comment about chasing the points in the second quarter, it's because of a situation like this. Now, a 12-point game versus an 11-point game means a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal away versus now it's 2 touchdowns away. But nonetheless, they know what's in front of them. They know what they need to do. They need to score, and then either think about an onside kick depending upon the timing, or kick it to Archbishop Wood and trust your defense with the 3 timeouts. They'll start with this return, and it comes from Keelis, taking it at the 10. He's got room to that side. He's trying to get to the edge, and he does. Sent out of bounds at the 37-yard line, and a flag comes in late. A block in the back likely against the Explorers.
That likely to be the call. You have the Explorers fans on the sideline here looking at that same area of the sideline where the late hit was called, hoping to maybe get something of the same variety for themselves here, but probably not the case.
And I understand, obviously, that the folks here are seeing a lot of flags against the Explorers, but bottom line, I think they could be a bit more disciplined than they are in this particular game, and Wood is, a very experienced and disciplined team. And I think LaSalle certainly hasn't cost them yet, but they need to be blemish-free the rest of the way.
Yeah, that just cost them, 15, 20 yards there? That hurts a lot, especially when time is really of the essence here.
Daly in the shotgun. He's made a lot happen on the offensive side of the football, had a great first half, and trying to rekindle that here in the second. Fakes the give and goes up the middle, and there's the spy right there making the play at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And that's a little frustrating to watch. I think if you're an Explorers fan watching that call, it was great for you in the first half. Didn't really work much in the first drive of the second half, but to see the Explorers, a little uninspiring to keep going back to it, kind of hoping they switch things up here on this drive, and that's how they start it.
I think they're going to pull a wrinkle out here on this drive, and they're going to open it up a little bit. Daly dropping back and fires to the outside, throws it away, and he was intending it for Khalil Diarra. He was getting pulled at. The Explorers want a flag, but there's a lot of hand fighting on both sides there.
Yeah, like you said about the last play, Rob, I think Daly's great when the offensive playbook is already kind of opened up. It's kind of tough when they already have a spy on them. I mean, they're committing that man to Daly, so it should open up space somewhere else on the field, but they're just kind of seemingly doing the same thing. I like that shot to Diarra, but unfortunately he was tangled up.
3-4 here for Archbishop Wood. Daly rolls, has some time, finds a man down the field, but he was looking for Hardy. Now a late flag comes in. This should go against number 5, Ryan Wirtz, as he was holding on to Luke Hardy. And that is certainly good news for the Explorers if that call goes this way, because I think that would have been a tough completion even without the hold.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be, pass interference, not just a hold, so that,
well, sure,
a little bit more yardage for the Explorers there, but, a call, they should see that as a call finally in their favor. You talk about flags being a tool to sort of push momentum one direction or the other. We'll see if they can use that first down to kind of pick up how this drive is going and maybe turn it into something a little more.
Worth noting, 7:08 to play in this fourth quarter. So LaSalle moving the ball down the field. They'll need points on this drive.
Right back to where Keyless ran in on the kickoff. They're back.
Daly fortunate to get back up on that one. Wasn't a great snap, and maybe he just had trouble seeing it into his hands. LaSalle gets it back, but it'll be a loss of about 7.
1 step forward and 2 steps back there.
Also, perhaps more importantly, clock's still running on that one, so now you're ticking under 6:48 left here in the game.
Of course, one drive at a time as they have a 2nd and 18 right now. Let's see what they pull out. They split 3 receivers out to the near side. Ball is on the far hash. Daly rolls to that side. Daly is pressured. Daly's going to need to get rid of it and gets it out of bounds into the line of scrimmage. And also, Sam Brown was in the area, so that takes any intentional grounding out of the mix.
So, I mean, maybe a bit of a rhetorical question, but 4 down territory?
If they don't get any yards here, or if there's a sack, you might actually think about punting this football and trying to use your 3 timeouts and getting it back. Now, at that point, you would need a touchdown and a onside kick, no questions asked, but it might be a more percentage play than a 3rd or a 4th and 18.
I completely agree. They got the wind on their side, too, if they were to punt, so I don't know. Let's see how this play develops.
Daly drops straight back. Daly's got his eyes downfield, fires to the sideline, and it goes through the arms of Luke Hardy. Maybe was deflected at the point of attack. It's tough to see all the way on that side of the field, but it looked like a decent throw that time from Sean Daly.
That's funny, man. He looked like he was ready to run all the way upfield there. And all of a sudden he just kind of chucked it, it looked like. But it looked like a perfect pass from here.
I think this is the prudent decision to send Jake Gandolfo and the punting unit out. I think it's the only thing you really can do.
Agreed.
Try to pin Archbishop Wood back. It's the percentage play. Use your timeouts and try to get the football back. Gandolfo rockets this one. This has a lot of steam. Caught at the 30 and nudged out of bounds up near the 35-yard line. That's where the LaSalle defense will have to come out and get a stop quickly with 6 minutes and 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, I'm pretty sure that clock didn't start. Wasn't that 6:13 before the punt?
I'm pretty sure it was. You want to go tell someone?
No, I'm all right.
All right, just making sure. So
we have a job to do. They have a job to do.
So
everybody does their job.
So, needless to say, a huge drive here for this Explorers defense. Ideally, a 3-and-out. We'll see what they can do, what they can draw up to maybe even push Wood back here a little bit.
And Wood has their strength of the running game that they've been relying on all night, and that should help them try to run out this clock as well.
Interesting formation here. And they bring the back in motion. That's Santiago. Santiago has a big lane up the field, spins into another tackle, and Explorer is down behind the play after the gain of 14 yards for the Vikings.
There's that run game. That was I like that Vikings formation there. That was something you don't see. I don't even know what you would call that formation actually.
Chunky eye. Chunky eye. I don't know.
Chunky eye. You heard it here first. The chunky eye.
You save
formation.
your cooking recipes for yourself.
We got the chunky eye formation. Chunky eye.
One
for one, 14 yards. That's not bad. We still have fun.
You two are ridiculous.
You're one to talk, Bob. It is certainly getting cold out here. I don't know if it's just the cold kind of starting to wither down on us or if it's actually getting colder. The wind has picked up. And that's
it's cold.
Yes. I'm no meteorologist, but it is cold.
Well, maybe you should be with statements like that.
Yeah, even if I was wrong, I would still get paid.
It's true.
It's not a bad point.
I do what I can to.
More at 11.
Yeah, we got it at 54 outside. I don't know if I believe that. I think your wind chill, to use a meteorology term, might be a little bit less than that. 5:54 to play. First down, Archbishop Wood. They hand it off to Pigford on the jet sweep, cuts up the field, and a great play there by the Explorers. They make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and they might want to think about taking some timeouts. They'll let this clock run perhaps for this down, but I think if they stop the next play at or around the line of scrimmage, I think they might start burning those timeouts.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if the Vikings maybe see the jet sweeps not working, maybe turn it up the middle, run some inside zone, maybe a draw play or something like that, see to try something else. Explorers just kind of need to hold steadfast in their run D. Yeah.
Clock's at 5:13 to play, fourth quarter. Jake Ross in the shotgun. They fake the give, and Ross takes it up the middle. Ross got a nice block there, and he's taken down at the 45-yard line of LaSalle. Will be third down and 3. We tick under 5 minutes to go. LaSalle holding firm with those 5 timeouts and letting the clock run. And now they call a timeout.
That's interesting.
Taking a good 6 seconds off the clock after the initial ball carrier went down. And that's one maybe of just maybe a little bit of indecision, but I still think the right decision at the end of the day to call a timeout.
If you're Wood, I think this might be 4-down territory as well. I mean, obviously you don't want to give up that field position, but, I mean, if they get the first down, if they can start really running out this clock, start withering away at those timeouts the Explorers have. I don't know. I mean, it seems like, especially in high school ball, like we're talking about, maybe sometimes the punt, the risk of going for it doesn't really outweigh the benefits of the punt. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see.
I think there's a threshold here. Maybe call it an asymptote to bring out the old high school term.
Yeah,
maybe
no
if
pre-algebra.
they need to get to the 42-yard line. Let's say the ball gets to the 43.5. You know, anything maybe back of that, they might punt it. Anything inside that, in between the 43 and the 42, you know, maybe they would go for it on fourth down. Right now it's 3rd and 3.
Or they make it easy and just run for the first down. We shall see, Bob.
We shall see. A lot they can do here. Simply a fullback in the backfield. They wind Santiago, but give it right up the middle to Pendleton, and Pendleton has the first down. He needed 3. He got 4 to the 41-yard line of LaSalle, and they'll move the chains.
That was a big first down for Wood there. Can start withering down that clock a little more. Explorers probably need to stop here, or this might be all she wrote.
First down and 10. Play clock down to 4. Ross with the handoff to Santiago. Santiago is pulled back by Jalen DeVos, but not until a gain of about 2.
Santiago on the carry brought down by Jalen DeVos.
At this point, Tyler, you know, as a defensive guy, are you thinking, you know, you see the time on the clock, you see the score. Obviously, you want to bring the ball down, ball carrier down, but how hard are you trying to punch that ball out with every single run?
Yeah, I mean, especially you want to be looking for that ball. Santiago seems to recognize that, and he seems to hold that ball very securely, and he's a strong dude, so that's hard. You need to get lucky on a hit or maybe a helmet on the ball. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So a lot of times you just got to get the guy down, and that's secondary. But I mean, if you see that ball hanging out, maybe try to land a helmet on it or punch it out. And if you're the Vikings, you got to secure the football. It doesn't really matter, I think, as much if you get the first down here. It's more about ball security than anything.
Second time out of the game of the second half, that is, taken for the Explorers, brought to you by Dunphy Ford in the Northeast, a wonderful dealership run by a wonderful crew and a LaSalle man in Kevin Dunphy, a big supporter of LaSalle College High School athletics, big supporter of us here at Bob Long Sports. Visit them at 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com. Santiago, a big hole. Santiago to the end zone. Touchdown, Archbishop Wood. 4:09 to play. They go up 30-12. And that time it's the O-line just pushing around the Explorers.
Oh, that's a backbreaker. No other way to really put that one. Just a nice job by the Wood line, opening up a hole for their lead back, and Santiago doing the rest and bringing it into the end zone, putting it home, and you start to see the stands getting a little thin here on the LaSalle side. As that one puts the Vikings up 30-12 with the extra point. 31-12.
Yeah. Certainly no longer a heartbreaker. I think that kind of wraps up this game. I mean, obviously there's still 4 minutes to go, but
still a little bit of pride here, obviously. The Explorers have a
of
District 12 playoff run ahead of them here. They have another big game against a 6A opponent in Roman Catholic next Friday night, and we'll be live for that one. Excited to be there for another season finale. And if I'm not mistaken, that is senior day for LaSalle, senior night, that is. So tune in early, folks, as we'll be there for the senior day festivities ahead of time. But again, still a ways to go here in this one. 4:09 to play. A lot of pride on the line for these Explorers in a rivalry game. And also, I think, an opportunity to try some new things.
Yeah, agreed.
By the way, I saw Rob flashing something on his phone to me, and he's exactly right. We do need to give a birthday shout-out to one of the famed Bob Long Sports cameramen, and that is Alex Krastowski. So a big shout-out to a guy who's been behind the camera many times and has done a tremendous job. Part-time technician and full-time cameraman, full-time swag.
The guy who, by the way, also holds the record for the closest ever where you at check-in.
Yeah, right.
Checking in from the camera spot in the booth, like 2 feet away from us.
So you know where that signal had to go, right? It had to go up to the satellites and back down to the 2 feet from where he was standing.
The signal traveled further than Alex was from us.
Well, I think that's almost the case anywhere you send a text from, but, well, not anywhere, but anywhere in the same town, it's always going to travel further than you are from the person.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bob, do you hold the furthest where you at?
Probably.
Oh, wow.
It's up there.
Daly fires across the middle, and Luke Hardy is taken down from behind after a gain of 12. Good throw that time from Sean Daly, and a great catch from Luke Hardy.
There's that middle of the field that, Bob, you had mentioned you thought would be open here in the second half, and Sean Daly able to find Luke Hardy. Looked for it a couple times on their previous drive, just unable to connect, but there they do, and Explorers moving.
Under 4 minutes to play. First down and 10 for the Explorers. Daly, there's pressure on him, and Daly is thrown down for a huge loss. A little bit of a late hit as one of the defensive linemen fell on top of Daly as he was already down. No call, and that's a huge, huge loss. Loss of about 16 yards.
Not much color to offer on that one. It was just unfortunate blocking up front by the Explorers. Also an unfortunate situation. Daly not getting that call. The late hit.
3 minutes left in this fourth quarter. They throw the screen. Diarra is there, makes one miss, gets to the middle of the field, and takes a hit getting up to the 30-yard line. Guys, as we have a couple minutes here, I don't think we've talked this up much, or if at all, But I know we have a lot of football fans here that watch these games, and a lot, I'm sure, Penn State football fans. And we have a weekly Penn State football show live on BLS, a talk show where we have some great guests from the media of Penn State. We have whiteboard X's and O's diagrams talking about the Nittany Lions. So tune in on Bob Long Sports on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Live on YouTube, live on Facebook. So that throw falls harmlessly incomplete, and it'll be 4th down, and I think LaSalle will send the punt unit out.
And live from the Long household, am I correct?
It's from our Bluebell Studios.
Bluebell Studios? It's a pretty cool setup you guys have there. Nice of the new Mrs. Long to allow you to appropriate some of the square footage in the home to Penn State football.
You know what? I'll agree with that. That is very nice. Because it's not exactly the most efficient use of space, so it's not lost on me that it's very nice that we can set that up. Now they're going to go for it here on 4th and 17. Daly rolls. Daly fires. Has a man, and it's a little bit overthrown. I think Hardy spent a little bit too much time trying to create space and not enough just darting down the field. So turnover, back to Archbishop Wood with 2:10 to play.
And thinking about it, I mean, that's not something you've really seen this offense do a lot, is try to open it up over the top of a defense. I don't know if that's just trying to work a lot of different things into the offensive game plan, but, or maybe a lack of a speedster to open it up over the top. But those streaking down the field throws that you kind of see a couple times a week, attempted against the Explorers, not something we see too often being executed by the Explorers. So interesting to see it kind of worked in there here as the clock's winding down. Obviously not effective there, but interesting to see the attempt happen.
First down and 10 for Archbishop Wood. Looking to salt this one away. And a big-time tackle there. That could have been bad. Very fortunate that DeVirgilis was not taken down in a way that hurt himself.
That looked awkward on all accounts, but just nice to see everyone pop back up right away.
Yeah, it was taken down by his own guy. It looked like number 2, Leroy Pendleton, and it seems like they just got kind of caught up there after the tackle. That's those kind of plays can get dangerous, and it's a good thing no one got hurt there.
Here's one where you want to see a little bit of pride here from the Explorers, and certainly keep Wood off the score sheet in the last few minutes. Oof. And that time, a nice play by Dylan Traynor. He takes down number 25, Cardell Pigford.
Just a nice pop. That's one we could hear through the headsets up here. That just Traynor, the veteran lineman stepping up and linebacker, excuse me, and just putting his hat on his man and bringing him down.
1:13 to play. Final couple plays of this one here. Stay with us. We'll have a post-game report live from the broadcast booth up here. And then, of course, we'll close with the alma mater for LaSalle. Second down and 7. The give is actually a keep from Jake Ross. Ross gets enough for the first down, and that might be the end of it. They may just be kneeling the football from here in. First down and goal at the 10. I would be surprised to see anything but a kneel here at this point, guys.
Asking for trouble if it's anything but a kneel.
And Archbishop Wood is into the victory formation. And that should be the last snap of the football game. Archbishop Wood's going to win this one, advance to 5-3 on the year. LaSalle falls to 3-5 on the year with one more game remaining in the regular season. That'll be next Friday night against Roman Catholic, and that will be live here on Bob Long Sports. We'll bring you back into our broadcast booth here. Your final score, Archbishop Wood 31, LaSalle 12. Enjoy, what was that?
Just our glorious booth.
But LaSalle in defeat here today. Showed some good things, especially in the first half offensively. I think that's something to build on. Roman Catholic next week, a talented team, no doubt, of course, as you're always going to see in the Catholic League, but a team that maybe doesn't have the high D1 caliber athletes that Archbishop Wood does. I think it's going to give them one more opportunity to learn a little bit about themselves, explore their roles as they head into the playoffs, and I think that's going to be important. But Rob, your final thoughts from this one before the alma mater?
Yeah, I mean, it's the score. I don't think reflects just how good of a game this was. 31-12 looks like a bit of a lopsided one, but it was really the self-inflicted wounds for LaSalle. I'm sure, Tyler, you probably touch on this as well, but, the penalties, a couple of turnovers, really just some bad execution on offense, and then, allowing what was coming at you with their run game, just allowing them to kind of run all over you, and just unfortunate that it didn't all come together for them today, but, bring it all back together and come out next week against Roman and see if you can't improve.
Tyler, quick thoughts before the alma mater here.
I mean, I conclude with everything Rob said. There's not really much more to add. Those penalties were kind of disappointing. Obviously, the spy on Daly kind of hurt their offensive capabilities. Would have liked to see a little more with Daly's arm. But here's the alma mater. So
there it is.
Basically what Rob said.
What Rob said. All right, guys, enjoy. Bob Long, Tyler Kern, Rob Stoughton will take you now to the alma mater. Thanks, everybody, as always, for being with us. We'll see you next Friday night here on BLS. And thanks again for everybody supporting high school athletics as they watch our broadcast and supporting the LaSalle Explorers. We'll see everybody soon.